to Elevator Pitch. I'm Hazel. With me today is, as
Altair.
always...
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, are you gonna fire me?
No, this is. I haven't haven't told her yet, but this will be her last performance on this show.
Like to me today. With me today.
Only today.
Altair.
Yes, my wonderful co-presenter.
Yeah. Try to make it right now.
trying to break through in some small way.
Yeah.
Yes, we are here today to talk about one of my favorite horror films that I've discovered in the last few years, Jennifer's Body. I don't know if anyone is very familiar with it. It kind of, we'll talk about it in a minute, but it kind of flopped initially when it came out. There was a lot of drama around it, a lot of mismanagement, I guess. And since then, in the last couple of years, particularly, I think around 10 years on its 10th anniversary, it has started being reclaimed as this feminist cult classic, this horror film. So and in particular, I wanted to introduce this film to you because this is the film, and I'll talk about it in my 5 reasons why you should like this, this is the film that made me reevaluate my opinion of Megan Fox. And so I was curious what you had to say about her performance, really. But thoughts, first of all?
I have a lot of thoughts.
Interesting.
I think this is going to be a podcast in which I'm going to learn a lot because I have a lot of questions.
Okay, cool.
And
that's good because I have seen this a couple of times.
Okay,
so.
good. No, and I think that since you studied film studies, I think you can give me more of an academic, maybe, reading of the film, because I have a lot of questions.
We'll see. I did, to be fair, I did write an essay on this. Is how I got into it the first time round. Was I had to write an essay, a film essay, for my master's degree, which is how we met.
Yeah.
And I really liked horror movies, and I wanted to write something. I think it had something to do with feminism horror movies and how female sexuality is presented as monstrous, something linked to that. Whether I can still give you an academic reading of this film, I don't know. I did try and prep for this. I did read a lot of articles. We'll see how much stuck.
Yeah, let's see, because I don't think I'm the most I'm not an expert at all on horror films or feminism in film in general. So I have a lot of questions. I guess my personal analysis maybe comes more from just a film perspective, period. Maybe I didn't really analyze it from the point of view, let's see all the feministic aspects that it has and the symbolism of the horror with this topic. So let's see how you can educate my mind.
Cool, let's see.
Let's
see how this goes.
Cool.
Okay, so my personal pitch, if I were to pitch you this film, is a teenage girl has to stop her BFF from devouring boys after being mistaken for a virgin.
Good. I think that
sums it up, I think.
That's pretty much
it's pretty straightforward, and then things really go to shit.
Yeah. Would you do that if I become a
What, kill you?
Or try to stop me from eating boys?
Yeah, I probably. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a very hypothetical situation. I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
What would you not? Would you not?
I mean, I guess that I wouldn't want to be stopped because if I'm hungry.
Of course, yeah. I totally understand why you. But if it was the other way around.
If it was the other way around. If you were a demonic
you
bitch.
don't think you would stop me? You they deserve it.
I think I would try.
Slay, bitch.
I think I would try to make you see why it is a bad thing to do.
You would try and educate me with words.
Exactly.
Before using your fists.
Exactly. I don't think I would get violent. I would ask you to leave the men in my life, which currently are none.
Except for one. We have one. You
We
have one.
We have one.
Okay, so you would make me promise to not touch them,
Yeah.
and then but everyone else is,
Or
is fair game.
I guess I would try to make. I mean, if you're already gonna do that, I guess I would try to make you do it only with like. This is gonna sound stupid, but like evil men, so like you can become like some sort of vigilante.
Totally.
I would try to encourage you to do that.
Okay, you would try and harness my powers for good.
Exactly. I think so.
I see.
I think so.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then everyone gets something out of it.
Exactly. Like society gets a cleanse.
Yeah.
You get your boys.
I stay youthful and beautiful forever.
Exactly. And yeah.
And you get to live a normal life.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay, but let's get into the film.
let's get into the actual film, not these hypothetical. Okay. Cool. So, reasons why I think you should like this film. First of all, the first one I've already mentioned is it made me, as I say, reevaluate Megan Fox. I think she delivers a really good performance in this film. It made me realise, she actually could act if given the chance. Although I find it interesting because we both watched New Girl and we both agreed we didn't really like her in New Girl.
Yeah.
Which, after watching this film, I was like, okay, she's quite good when she can be, or when she's got a good director helping her out. But New Girl, I felt, was completely flat. So I don't really know how to feel about her acting chops.
I think it's in my opinion, it's more a matter of maybe the character more than the performance, in the sense that I think like the character in Jennifer's Body, in my opinion, I haven't watched a lot from Megan Fox except for like the first Transformer film, and I think it suits her a little bit more. Like
which one? This one?
The Jennifer Body's the one. I think it's like, okay, I believe that she is this demonic.
Yeah, definitely. That's
know?
And I read a couple of interviews and I listened to a podcast that Megan Fox was on, and she did say that she felt very connected to the character because she felt like she had a lot of parallels to her own life and how she was being treated in the media in Hollywood at the time. So I do think this role was quite particular to her. I think it matched her quite well. Whether she's just one of those actors who needs very specific roles, I don't know, or some directors are better directing
because
her.
For example, in New Girl, I just think that the character required, I don't know, like some sort of warmth.
What it is. Yes.
And she doesn't. I don't know if she didn't like the actor who played Nick. I don't know, but you don't feel it. It's like so flat and cold.
It's really weird.
I like her in the Eminem video.
Which one was? Oh, yeah.
I think that's.
That.
I mean, she doesn't have any lines, of course. It's a music video, but I think. Like I like her performance in that video.
Yeah, and also, have you seen the Machine Gun Kelly one she's in? Bloody Valentine.
But I think she kind of
quite good in that as well.
I interpret that as she's playing herself in a way.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not a particular Megan Fox fan. But I mean, I don't think I've seen her enough, or I've seen her in enough wide range of roles for me to say, oh, she's a good actress, or no, she's a terrible one. I just think that I haven't. Jennifer's Body and Eminem's Video are the two pieces of her work that I find
really appreciate.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like she just hasn't been given enough chances really to actually show what she can do, I think, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we can talk about a little bit more about that afterwards. My second reason for liking this film is the script. It's a really cool script. It's written by Diablo Cody. I remember it's very particular type of script, particularly the dialogue is very unique, because I remember when I watched the film the first time, I had always had the sense, we can talk about this as well, the bad marketing that this film suffered from, which gave me the impression that the film was kind of this trashy sort of so bad it's good film, And when I initially heard the dialogue being spoken, I thought, oh yeah, I see what people mean. And it was only about halfway through the movie I realised, no, this film knows exactly what it's doing and what it is. It was self-aware enough in that sense. So I really like the script. I think it's really clever. I think it plays with a lot of horror tropes. Like, for example, the fact that her not being a virgin is basically what saves her life, whereas in a lot of other horror films, if you weren't a virgin, you would be dead.
Yeah.
Third is I like this representation of female friendship. You don't really get a lot of in movies in general. I think you don't really get a lot of female best friends that aren't constantly. I mean, this is a very this isn't like the most positive friendship that you can see, but it's complex enough that you see that how much they really love each other, but also how toxic this relationship is. So it gets quite real, and I think is quite realistic when it comes to particularly, I guess, teenage female friendships. So I like to see, because I don't think you really see that a lot of nice, sort of tight, long-lasting female friendships on screen. And the fourth reason is that this is basically sort of a modern-day quasi-rape revenge horror film, which is this is how I got this came to my attention the first time when I read this article that was reevaluating Jennifer's Body, that particularly post Me Too it reads a lot differently, particularly the scene where she is being sacrificed, that people can read that sort in a way allegorically as a sexual assault scene. So I think it's quite clever how they played it, where it's sort of, but it's not quite, but the parallels are obviously there that you can read into it, and it has this slightly cathartic element to it, which I quite like. And then, of course, I'm sure you could see this coming, just got some bisexual icons in this. Just some good girl-on-girl action. So I can recommend this.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I guess we can make our way into the plot, I guess.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we start on Needy, the main character really, told from her perspective, played by Amanda Seyfried, who has been locked up in this, I guess, this institution for, I don't know if it's mentally ill people, maybe criminals,
I read it like
I guess.
that, yeah.
And I find it quite clever already how they plant these little seeds of what happened to her at the end of the film, that she has been given these superpowers, I guess, by being or bitten. I think she was bitten by Jennifer at the end. So she goes out into the yard and tries to play some ball, and the ball just immediately gets torn from the string because she's so strong. She kicks someone and she literally goes flying halfway across the room, and you think that's for a comedic effect. And then she sort of flashes back to how it all started, I guess, and you get your first shot of Jennifer, hot Megan Fox, walking down the hallway. And then Jennifer asks her to come and see this little indie rock band that she thinks is quite good, although we realise later on they're hardly known, really.
What I really liked about that introduction, I would say, is that I was expecting the typical dynamic of Megan Fox is the popular girl and Amanda Seyfried is the nerdy girl, and they have nothing in common. Like, I thought they were gonna make them be antagonists, and it was like surprising that they're actually best friends.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought, like, okay, so it's already there is, okay, it's something that I wasn't expecting. I really was expecting Megan Fox to be the school bitch and Amanda Seyfried to be like the innocent one, and I think that's something nice that they both are very different, I guess, in a way, but that doesn't make them be enemies.
Yeah, so you mean like in a normal teen high school movie, they would be enemies.
Exactly,
basically.
like Megan Fox would have been like the
Her
popular.
bully.
Yeah, exactly, and it wasn't like that. And I thought like, oh, okay, that's a nice, I guess, spin.
Yeah,
to
like
do
the first shot of Jennifer, and she's as a cheerleader, and she's just waving, and it's quite sweet. Yeah. So you do, and several times throughout the film, they Needy repeats this phrase of "sandbox love never dies," so you know that they've been quite tight since they were children. Yeah, and so, but then also, which I also find is a slight subversion, is you think of a character like Needy, you would think that she couldn't get a man, but she does.
Yeah.
She's the one with the boyfriend, which I think is quite cute, Chip.
Yeah.
But you can sense there's tension between the two of them when they're about to leave to go to this concert, that they get a little bit aggressive towards each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of. Only towards the end do you really realize, at least I did, how insecure Jennifer actually really is as a person, and that I think her Needy having a boyfriend, I think.
Yeah, I
gets
guess
to her, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah,
she's jealous of that.
I think that's. I think she's definitely maybe insecure that her ugly duckling, I guess, I don't know, friend has a boyfriend. I the thing is that I guess she envies that kind of stability, or that state of their relationship. They're in love and blah blah blah. But I also think she's a little bit jealous of the fact that she wants to be with Needy all the time.
Yeah, there's definitely also that.
It's also that jealousy.
Tension.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's my friend, and this guy's taking her away from me in a way.
Yeah.
So I think like in a more obvious level is like the friendship jealousy, and then
the subtext.
The subtext is the one. Okay, she probably wants maybe like
a
little bit more than just like casual sex with everyone in school.
Yeah. yeah, definitely. And so they go to this club, and and Jennifer's basically got this crush on like the lead singer already, and then Needy overhears them talking about whether or not Jennifer may or may not be a virgin, and she unknowingly tells them, oh yeah, actually she is a virgin, even thinking that will put them off her, but obviously that's what they're looking for, unfortunately. And then they start playing, and unfortunately but obviously it's pretty clear how the fire starts, who set the fire at the bar, which is the indie group.
Mm-hmm.
So this fire starts, and it's quite a horrific scene, actually. I always found, the whole place goes up in flames, and a lot of people die, but Needy and Jennifer manage to get out just in time. But then these indie guys show up outside, completely cool.
Yeah.
Very creepily, completely giving Jennifer a drink, and then kind of pushing her into the van, which again has all these implications of sexual assault.
Yep.
And Needy tries to stop. I think Jennifer's sort of in this haze of shock, I guess.
Yeah. She even like at some point, like to me looked like a little bit, I don't know, if hypnotized or something.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
It's like, okay, even if I don't know, even if it's your favorite band, would you just
get in with
go?
them?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
In a moment.
Maybe it's just too goody me. That is
like, I see the red flags here. I wouldn't get in there.
Like, no, Sarah, my mom told me not to get in vans with strangers.
Yeah. But she does anyway, and he just has to watch them drive off. And then for a while, we don't actually know what happens. And Needy gets back home and calls Chip and tells him everything that's happened. And then she hears a noise downstairs, creepily. Which any horror film you will know that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
So then she goes downstairs to check it out, and here was another moment where I felt the direction was quite good, that it played with your expectations, because there were moments where I felt like it was building up to this jump scare, like it was prepping you for that moment, like when she opens the door to the cellar. I was expecting her to be behind the door, and she's not, and then the dripping the dripping tap in the kitchen. You expect something to be there and it's not, and then only then when she turns around does she have Jennifer standing right in front of her. So I thought that was really good build up. And then this is like one of the craziest scenes in the film is basically Jennifer standing there with this horrible grin on her face and covered in blood, and then she goes to the fridge and just tears into this chicken, and then vomits up this like black goo, and then she slammed. Then again, there's this implication that she was going to kill Needy, but she decided not to because she loves her so much.
And also, I guess it's also because she only feeds on men. I guess.
I think it's made out that that is a choice of hers. I think.
Okay, because I maybe I
because she could. I don't know. I guess you'd have to look more into the lore of this demon. Of the succubus, maybe they are.
Yeah, because I think succubus only attack men.
Do they?
Yeah, I think that's like their I don't know, ammo. Like they seduce men and then they kill them.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then.
But you were reading it from the perspective of a friend, and that's really sweet. That's really sweet.
This is I'm trying really hard. Well, no, this is some of these articles that I was reading. That's how they read it.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe it's nicer to read it that way, that she didn't actually want to kill her, that she decided not to, and then she vanishes, and he's just really upset. And then the next day, she goes into school. Everyone's really upset because of the fire. Here's one of my, and then J.K. Simmons shows up in one of the best roles. In just this fake wig and this with a hook for a hand.
That's one of my notes. I mean, again, I think I didn't read the film in the, I don't know, ironic tone that it was supposed to be written in.
Yeah.
But like one of my notes is, why does he have a hook for hand? Why is it only because it's
so weird.
To me, it's like, why do you have a
hook for a hand?
Because it's not like it plays something in the story.
No.
Because I thought, okay, at some point we're gonna need a hook.
We're gonna need a guy with a hook for a hand,
and he's gonna come and save the day. But no, he just has a, and because I thought, oh, maybe if they had casted like the perfect actor for this role was a dude who happened to have a hook for a hand. Okay, I'll get
Perfect.
it. But all of that, no, he has his two hands.
No, yeah, I don't know. It makes me wonder if that was written into the script, if that was Diablo Cody's idea or Karin Kusama's idea. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of my notes. Why does he have a hook for a hand? Yeah, but okay, let's continue.
And then and Jennifer shows up looking very good. Better than ever. And is very insensitive, basically, towards the whole tragedy, really. And Needy is trying to still work out what's going on, because she makes no reference to what happened the night before. And then I think, is this where the first killing happens, I think, next?
Yeah, I think she takes the football guy, right?
Yeah. She takes him into the, like, he's crying, he's kind of mourning
exactly,
the
because one of his friends died.
Yeah, I think, and then this was another moment that I thought was really clever in terms of direction, was that you have him in the foreground and you see her walking towards him, and you expect her to come from camera right, and then she suddenly shows up from camera left, and I thought that was really fun. So they have these little moments where you have fun with they had fun with the direction. But she basically takes him into the woods to seduce him, basically.
Eat him up.
Start making out, and then she eats him, basically.
Yeah. One of the other things that I have in my notes is in that scene, like they're in the woods, and all of a sudden, like all the animals stare.
Oh yeah, that was another bit. It's another moment where you're like, what is going on?
Why? And I thought, okay, maybe like the animals like play a role also into this. Maybe they all sense the energy of the succubus, and
Maybe, yeah.
But then it never comes up again.
That's true.
So for me, it was like, so what was the?
Well, I guess she doesn't.
Are they just what you?
They just really like watching humans have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it made me. I don't know if that was an intention. It made me think of like Snow White or something.
Okay.
I don't know. It's a weird. But I interpreted it that they get drawn by her.
Okay.
Demonic.
Yeah, that's
energy.
what I thought. But I thought, okay, then in a way, one way or the other, that's gonna come into play.
Later on.
Yeah, because I thought that maybe they were gonna use the animals to kind of like give you a hint of when something's gonna happen, or like whenever you saw like on
foreshadowing or
exactly. I thought that was gonna be a thing, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
so to me it was like, okay,
yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
You weird animals.
Yeah, because when she kills the goth boy, is it Colin? I think.
Yeah.
There's some rats around, but they don't do anything with the rats.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I thought.
Because I was gonna say she doesn't kill anyone anywhere near a forest again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but
true.
I thought, okay, maybe a bird is gonna come and. I don't know. I don't know the rules of this world.
Yeah, it's just another weird, quirky moment.
Yeah.
And then the next moment, again, we have J.K. Simmons. Where it's like also played for laughs, where the guy is screaming because she's killing him, and he just thinks he's screaming because he's grieving. That he's like, oh, let it out.
Yeah.
And then the screaming suddenly stops, and suddenly he thinks, oh, something's not right there, and then he goes in and finds the body there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not sure what happens.
Like we caught
that's
the
right.
police and
yeah,
and the mom.
She goes to her boyfriend's house, I think, doesn't she? And then Chip tells her they found him dead. This other teenage boy.
Yeah.
And she immediately links these two events, that it can't be a coincidence that the bar burnt down. This weird thing happened to Jennifer, and then this boy gets killed.
Yeah.
That's right. And then I'm not sure if we get to Colin then, the goth boy.
Yeah, exactly, because then
you notice that one day that Jennifer is not looking great.
Yeah, exactly.
She's looking very drained.
Exactly. I think that's the thing. Like, I think some time passes. I think, don't we got jump like a month after or something?
Maybe.
Because I remember that this is one of my notes also. There's like very silly dialogue that is like J.K. Simmons like, okay, class, as you remember, a month has passed since the event.
Right.
So it's like, okay, way to give it
away.
Yeah, to me
was
like,
yeah.
It was like very like, okay, like very on the nose. But and that's when we see Jennifer that is like not
that's
looking
right,
good.
yes, and then Needy gets into this fight with this other girl, because in the meantime the band that was playing, the band Low Shoulder, who were playing at the bar, their song that they were playing has kind of become this national anthem, basically, for the bar burning down, for this tragedy.
Yeah.
And and they're giving 3% of their profits or something to the town, and the rest they're keeping. And Needy obviously points out how greedy that is, and how selfish, and everyone doesn't really want to hear it, basically, but she knows what's going on. And that's right. And then Colin asks Jennifer out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another moment where we see, because I think this also interlinks with Jennifer's jealousy of other boys in Needy's life, because she also she gets on with Colin. She likes him, and he seems like a really sweet guy.
Yep.
So then she says, yeah, I'll go out with you, and allures
but
him.
After, I think doesn't she like shut him down first, and then I think it's Needy who kind of like says something, and she changes her mind and says,
right.
Hey, it's okay, like come to my place or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like at first she says like, no, like I'm not
gonna want to go out with you.
Exactly, and then I don't remember what Needy says.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, okay. And she changes her mind.
Changes her mind.
Yeah.
Intentionally. That's right, yeah. And then she lures him to this, I think it's like this abandoned neighborhood of empty houses.
With a lot of candles.
With a lot. I love it when TV shows or films do these things where they just and it's supposed to be like romantic, I guess, a lot of the time, not in this context, but a lot of the time it's supposed to be romantic, and then people set up like 50 candles in a room, and I think that's a massive fire hazard.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't want to do that. No, that's terrible. That's terrible. But yeah, so she lures him, and again, I think this is an interesting moment where it plays with gender a bit, because I guess in a film, hopefully, or in real life, no woman would go into that house.
Yeah.
Basically, but because the guys don't see Jennifer as a real threat, they all go along with it, and he doesn't seem to question for a long time why they're there, when he obviously realizes she doesn't live there.
Yeah.
And so, and then at the same time, Needy is having sex
or
with
trying
to have sex with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Chip.
That's a really I didn't know how to interpret it, because the way the montage, the editing is done, is that they kind of like put them in parallel, and like, is she getting off? Does she has like a connection to Jennifer, because she seems to be reacting to what Jennifer is doing with killing the other guy while she's having sex with him. Yeah. So like, is it that their connection is so strong that
I think that's how you're supposed to interpret that.
But then it was it in that particular moment that she was feeling it? Because she was having sex, because she didn't feel it like when she killed the other guy. So it was only in this time. So for me, it was like, okay, why is she feeling it? Why is she feeling it now?
Why is she feeling it now?
Is it because she's feeling it down there that she can feel what
that she can feel it up here?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was like, okay, they have that connection, but why do they have that connection? Just because they're really good friends?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Because because she needs to know what's going on, okay?
Yeah. I need to find me some friends that are having sex so that I can feel so that we can feel this connection.
So we can feel it together.
And I can at least feel it vicariously.
Yeah. But it only goes one way. Like, Jennifer doesn't see Needy having sex. Doesn't have visions of Needy having sex.
Exactly. So it's
just the one way.
It's just, maybe it's a metaphor of their relationship dynamic. Is Needy always giving and giving to Jennifer, and Jennifer doesn't. Yeah. Maybe Diablo Cody is listening to this podcast. It's like, no, I just
wrote that because that was a cool scene to write. I thought it was a cool scene. She's having sex, and then she sees this vision of a murder.
Yeah.
So she kills poor Colin, and then Jennifer is restored to her beauty. But at this point, no, that's right. And then Needy, having had this vision, rushes off.
Yeah.
I'm guessing to try and track her down, and then Jennifer suddenly appears in front of her car and jumps on top and looks totally demonic and possessed, and Needy screams and drives back home, at which point Jennifer again shows up in her room, which and then you have the aforementioned
girl on girl action.
But
I was gonna ask you, because I'm not an expert on girl on girl action. But
you think I am?
But at least on film. And what it means in film.
Okay.
Because I was thinking, okay, so they have this moment.
Yeah.
Of, okay, they kissed each other, and they, like, in a way, Amanda Seyfried's character Needy, like, really gets in the mood, but then she stops it. But why does that happen? Why are we seeing this? What is that supposed to mean? Like, I don't know.
So from what I've read, from what Diablo Cody and Karin Kusama had intentioned with that, is the idea, and they sprinkle it throughout the film. These moments where you see Needy looking at Jennifer in a certain way, that this is that in Diablo Cody's mind, that Needy is on some level in love with Jennifer, and that she kind of gives into this for a moment, and that it's Jennifer trying to manipulate Needy because she knows.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's more of like a look into their relationship dynamic, how unhealthy it is.
I would say so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because to me it was like, okay, but why are we seeing this here? Because yeah, you can feel that there's like some sort of
tension,
sexual tension, a little bit maybe. Yeah, I think a little bit. Like even you can interpret her jealousy towards the boyfriend.
Yeah,
in the sense,
exactly.
you have this connection with this person that I would like to have that connection with. But yeah, for me it felt like, okay, why in this moment, what are we seeing this right here, right now? But I guess that if she wants to manipulate her, I guess it makes a little bit more of sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I'm glad I could clear that up.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
No, to be fair, like it's taken me a little while to really work out that scene. To be fair, but I think it's a lot more complex than they just shot it.
Yeah.
For
plays the male audience
exactly.
and lesbian audience. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then Jennifer finally tells Needy and us, the audience, what happened that night, which is basically she got taken away into the woods by this group. And again, she seems to slowly start be snapping out of this state of shock she's in, and this overtone. She actively asks them if they're rapists, I think. And when they talk amongst each other, are you sure she's actually a virgin? And again, she seems to think being a virgin will actually save her life this time, and she says that she's a virgin.
Which is weird. Like, if
I don't know.
No, it's weird in the sense that because that was one of the things that I didn't get, and that when you were doing the recap, you clarified right now. Because one of my questions was, why does Amanda Seyfried's character makes the band believe that Jennifer is actually a virgin? Because I thought, why? Like the first time that I saw that scene, for me it was like, why are you telling stranger men that your friend is a virgin? And then you said, okay, so that because she thought that maybe like that they would back down.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, but I guess maybe because I come from a culture in which that doesn't mean anything. Like I wouldn't have thought, if I tell this man that want to rape my friend or whatever that she's a virgin, it's not like that's gonna stop them. So like for me, it was like a little bit hard. Like I didn't get it until today.
Yeah.
That they're trying to make them believe that Jennifer is a virgin, so that they say, oh no, like we cannot do this.
That they think that they're looking for someone who's experienced.
Yeah, exactly. Like that wouldn't have crossed my mind because again, like maybe I come from a culture in which men just take what they want.
Well, we also live in that culture, unfortunately.
So okay, but I guess that's how. If God forbids,
maybe they're also just talking within the, like I say, in the context, because for a lot of, if you look back at slashers, and the final girl up until say Scream subverted that. The final girl always had to be a virgin.
Okay.
So I think in that sense, in the context of this being a horror film, that's what they were playing with, I think, was that in their mind, if I'm a virgin, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. No, good. Because that's the other thing. Like I said, I'm not like an expert on like horror film symbology. So for me, you being a virgin just means that, okay, you're a virgin.
You're a virgin. Yeah, I think you have to look at it in the context of a horror film.
Yeah, okay, cool. Continue, please.
I'll continue. So then, basically in, I guess, the most horrible scene in the film, they tie her up in the woods and she's crying. She's sort of begging for mercy, and they just kind of laugh at her and start singing. And then stab her several times because basically they want to be famous and making it again. This is one of those quirky moments in the film where
that's what I meant. I guess that's what's going to be my next question. Do you think it's like, because to me that felt like so ridiculous.
Yeah,
that they
completely.
That's intentional. They deliberately made this very ridiculous.
I think so.
Okay. Because I thought, like, how ridiculous is this?
In a way ridiculous and funny outside of the horrible thing that they do, but it is ridiculous that this little boy, this small town boy band, indie band, are like, oh, we can't, we need to literally sacrifice a virgin to Satan, otherwise we're not going to get famous. I think that was a cool concept in a way.
I think, like, to me, I guess, I don't know, like, maybe with a different kind of performance from the guy who played the lead singer, maybe it would have been a little bit clearer that it was ironic. Because to me, when I was watching the scene, I was like, okay, this, I don't know, like, I don't know what happened there, that to me was like, okay, this is very ridiculous. Are they kidding, or are they for real?
No, they are for real.
Okay, continue.
So they kill her and sort of leave her for dead, but then obviously because she wasn't a virgin, she gets possessed by this demon. And then we also see that she killed the Indian kid.
Yeah, really. Do you think that's also intentional? Like to get out the minority first? They killed the brown person first.
Well, I guess a lot of, if you're going chronologically, a lot of other people died in the bar first.
But
I guess by her,
she, the first person that she kills, is a brown person.
It wasn't so woke on that count. Oh man.
She kills a poor Indian.
Poor guy.
He didn't even have a line in the film. I think.
No, I don't.
He doesn't even say stop.
I know. He just goes with her. Yeah. So, that's the whole backstory basically. So we know now what happened to Jennifer, and so Needy then goes and does some research in the library, which is another thing. Like, when you think, what books is this library stocking? It's a school librry. And they've got things on like exorcisms,
demonic possessions 101. Which I think is really it's kind of like self-aware when the boyfriend asks her, like she comes back to the boyfriend and says, oh, look what I found in the dark magic session of the library. Do we have a dark magic session in the library? Because of course, like,
it's like, what are students learning? Exactly. Why would you need any of that in your library?
It's not even like exactly because you're not in like Hogwarts that you need to know about this.
No, Hogwarts would make sense. You need that kind of stuff stocked in your library, but no, why would a library have stuff on demonic possession and demons? This is really weird. But anyway, so she does all this research and comes across, I guess, the succubus, and realizes she needs to stop Jennifer, that she's the one who's been killing all these guys. And she also sort of breaks up with Chip for the moment, because she feels like he's in danger, or she doesn't want to put him in danger in that way. And she also believes that Jennifer, because I think it's a prom that's coming up.
Yeah, one of those dances that Americans have.
Those American high school dances thing. So she thinks it's basically going to be a free-for-all for Jennifer, so she plans. Which, in the meantime, although you do have this really, really nice moment with Jennifer. She's crying, but she's still trying to perform, I guess, this role that people have given her of trying to be like the really beautiful, the hot girl, basically. And again, that's one moment where you realise how unhappy I think Jennifer really is as a person. And so then, because and Needy and Jennifer have kind of fallen out at this point, And so, unbeknownst to Needy, Jennifer basically plans to go after Chip now.
Yep.
Which she does. She catches him in the middle of nowhere, I guess. And sort of also kind of starts to seduce him and tell him some talk dirty about Needy, and then takes him to this abandoned swimming pool, it seems like.
That's the other thing that I have in my notes, like that. Okay. You know, like
really weird,
there's
like,
this abandoned swimming pool that has like it looks so staged. You know, like all the
things the plants growing in. It's dirty.
Yeah, it looks like, okay, you obviously like it didn't feel like that natural. It felt like, okay, we need like this big last setting for the last technically the last
second
to last fight in between these two women. And another thing that I thought is that because Jennifer tells Chip that the reason why Needy is so upset is because she was in a relationship with
she was cheating on him with Colin,
the goth guy. And I mean, I don't know, maybe that's how men think. But all like just like that, he's like, okay, I'm gonna make out with you. Exactly. It was like, okay, Chip.
Wow, you clearly didn't trust her that much if you really believe her.
I know.
Which is a bit odd as well, because he doesn't really like Jennifer that much up until then.
That's what I mean. Are men just like that?
But I guess I don't know. I guess because she broke up with him, he's a bit hurt. Maybe.
But again, it's
she
like,
plays into that.
That didn't take long.
It didn't take much persuasion.
Maybe I'm saying this, and maybe if I wasn't in his position, I would be, you know, making out with three guys.
If I got the chance to make out with Megan Fox.
So who knows? But I found like, okay, Chip, you're not that nice then.
Yeah.
I felt like, okay. It felt like way too easy. But I don't know. Okay, let's continue.
How easy is Chip? What a slut.
What a slut, Chip. What a slut.
Come on, man. So she takes him to this abandoned swimming pool, and in the meantime, again, the band has shown up to play at their prom again, and in this moment, Needy suddenly realizes what Jennifer's plan actually is, and she runs out to the swimming pool to try and stop it, try and save Chip, and she's already started devouring him, I guess, so to speak. And then they get into this fight, which again is quite revealing, I think, of their relationship. That Needy says Jennifer was never really that good a friend, and so you can see their friendship is probably completely disintegrated at this point. But they manage to, even though Chip's quite weak and dying at this point, he manages to impale Jennifer with a pole of some sort.
That was very
just lying
conveniently lying
around.
there. Yeah.
Although I love the dialogue in this bit where she's where she asks for if she had a tampon.
I really like that joke. I think that was
you looked like you were plugging.
The one joke that I really genuinely enjoy. Yeah. When she said, "Oh, do you have a tampon?"
You look like you might be plugging.
Like that I found really funny.
That was really good. Yeah. And then Jennifer just leaves after that, because she has to recover now, and unfortunately for Needy, Chip passes away.
Bye.
Poor Chip. He was so sweet.
Up until that
moment.
Apart from the cheating.
And so now Needy knows what she has to do, which is basically kill Jennifer. And so she goes over. That's right. That's also where the film started initially. So we're back at the end now. And so they have this fight in Jennifer's room on her bed, and they're suddenly like floating. Yeah. And then for this moment, Needy rips off this BFF necklace that they have, and that seems to kind of snap Jennifer out of it. And they kind of crash down onto the bed, and Needy gets a chance to stab her. And
with the bad luck that Jennifer's mom
that was that's grim. Yeah, she stabs her in the heart, and then Jennifer's mum comes in and sees it, and that's obviously how Needy got into the mental institution. And that's right. And then we've also seen this fight that she got that did this to Jennifer, which I think is a nice rounding off of the.
I didn't know that expression.
Okay.
Come up. It's
comeuppance.
Oh, okay. Look at that. Learning English.
Yeah.
Good.
Everyone gets their punishment. I guess.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have like a lottie like I think there's like a close up that they do of the boyfriend's belt, of Chip's belt, when he's trying to undo them while they're having sex, and it's like they have like a wide, maybe not a very wide shot, but they have and there's one scene where she shows the necklace that also felt a little bit awkward, and for me was like, okay, that that threw me off a little bit of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Okay, you already explained about the girl on girl action. Yeah, I don't think it's not what I thought feminist symbology and symbolism is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I want you to explain, because to me it was like, okay, but I didn't feel. Oh yeah, definitely. That's definitely feministic, or because I don't know. Maybe I haven't been very exposed to a lot of that kind of.
Well, what exactly are you looking to have explained?
Yeah, like why you said that it has been reinterpreted as a feminist film.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? What makes it? What changed that interpretation? Like, what did people realize? Oh, this film is obviously talking about this and this feminist
Well,
issues.
I think in terms of these articles of it being reevaluated, I guess it comes back to its initial release, and I've watched interviews with Megan Fox and Diablo Cody talking about this. The film itself was marketed very badly, and basically it was marketed to like young boys, like teenage boys, and it was basically just playing off of Megan Fox as sex symbol. Basically, they didn't seem to. It seems they had this film in their head. I think these executives or these marketing people, and they just stuck with it. Which, when you watch the film, is not at all what you get, because I don't know how sexy it is for guys to watch Megan Fox literally tear guys limb from limb. So I think the intentions that Diablo Cody, I think it's easy a lot of the time when it's women who create something that it automatically just gets stamped as feminist. I think. But I think the intention was obviously to make their intention. They've talked about it. Was to make a film for girls that it is about female friendships, particularly teenage female friendships, how they can be toxic in a way that they're made to compete against each other. And also, like I say, I think breaking down Megan Fox's performance or her image at the time, that she's similar to Jennifer in that she's the hot girl in the school, and that's how people see her, and she has to perform this role even if it makes her deeply unhappy. And she doesn't have, unlike Needy, who has a boyfriend who really loves her, they clash over that jealousy, I guess, or over him, and instead of being able to stand together, they're made. I think that's part of the message, or what they were trying to analyze was, or interrogate maybe is the better word, how women, I think, are pitted against each other in a sense. And then, like I said, I think it plays with slasher tropes, because I've also read that Jennifer as a character in any other film would be the first girl to be killed. Basically, she's like the sort of the slightly maybe arrogant, promiscuous girl who ends up getting killed right at the start, and she's not. So there's a lot of playing with gender in the film. Like I say, I guess if you were more aware of particularly the final girl or gender within horror films. I think it's a lot clearer or a lot more obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
quasi rape revenge narrative of the film itself,
Yeah.
and this idea of these men sacrificing her for their own professional gain, and laughing while she suffers,
Yeah.
and bonding over that, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I mean, I think that I now that you explain it, I can see, and I think that I think definitely if I were a little bit more familiar with all these horror film tropes, maybe it would have been of course it would have been obvious. I guess, and I get also the whole topic about female friendship, and because I think that's really cleared. You can see that through their relationship, which I think it's also nice. And I think that there are other films like Mean Girls that also try
that's another one.
address that topic of how girls are kind of like built to compete against each other, and it's always about who's the prettiest one and blah blah blah,
popular one.
Exactly. And that's nice. I guess maybe it's because I've saw this film for the very first time at almost 30. But maybe to me would have been a little bit more like stronger if it had been in a different context, maybe not like in a well, no, it's just like, I'll forget what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something that doesn't make no, because I was gonna say maybe in another context that is not like a high school, but is in high school, where I guess this more toxic relationship is a little bit more evident.
Exactly, where I think people are. I mean, we talked about a bit we talked a bit about it when we were discussing High School Musical. I think when these teen movies where people get labeled and put into boxes, and you have to and you feel like you don't want to get ostracized, you want to fit in, you don't want to get bullied, so you play this role that has been assigned to you. So I think and it's only later, and you're in puberty, you're hormonal, you're trying to work out what's going on with yourself and your body, and figuring out who you are, whilst also trying to like I say, not get sidelined in high school while you're growing up. So I think that's I think that's the most acute it can get, I think.
Yeah. I mean, no, I think you're totally right. I'm sorry, just
thinking, making you think.
I'm trying to think. No, I think it's a nice like film for teenagers. I think maybe if I had seen it back then, maybe I would have felt identified with maybe one of the characters to say, that's a little bit like my relationship with this friend who's a bitch, but I tell her that she's my friend, but we're more like frenemies. I guess that for me, a grown woman, that thankfully don't think I have those sort of relationships anymore. For me, was a little bit like
at a distance.
At a distance.
If I think back on my school days, like primary or secondary school, I would definitely say that you just go along with it, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think about what I felt towards the film when it came out. It's 2009.
Yeah.
So I was how old? 10.
Yeah. It's only recently.
So I guess that's why I didn't really went to see it, because for me it was like, I don't want to see her.
Yeah. 2009. How old was I? I was like 12.
Yeah. So. And I'm not like the biggest Amanda Seyfried.
That's the other thing. I'm not a big fan of Amanda Seyfried, but I actually like her in this film.
Yeah. So for me, it was like there was nothing appealing for it. Maybe that's the thing, like what you were saying about like marketing. Like I don't want to go and see Megan Fox.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if
a hot teenager.
Exactly. Especially if the movie was like their intention was to address it to like teenage girls. Right, and like that dynamic, I don't think any teenage girl would have felt attracted to the film just by having Megan Fox on the poster,
Yeah,
looking
exactly.
hot, eating an apple. I don't remember how the
Yeah,
poster
she's like
was.
in a
In a
I guess a
desk.
school uniform type thing with like a
Yeah.
short skirt, and she's sitting on
Yeah.
a chair and looking
Yeah, so like
seductively.
there wasn't like for me a girl, a straight
Exactly,
a straight girl
exactly.
it was like okay, I have no.
You wouldn't feel like, oh, this is marketed to like this is a film
Exactly.
for me, and that's where it fell short. I mean,
Yeah.
it had a budget of 16 million and it only made 31 million worldwide. So that's like how big of a bomb it was,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
It also, I think, well, no, I think horror film is a good genre to for kids to sell to kids, right? To teenagers. I think teenagers like a lot of horror films.
Yeah, I think
Um,
so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Young
there you go.
adults.
Young adults. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, I think I mean it's not my favorite film.
No.
But it was like okay.
That's why we're here. We're just to widen our horizons.
Yeah, no, thank you. I need to. That's why I like this podcast because it's like it makes me watch films that I wouldn't.
You wouldn't think
watch.
about otherwise.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Valera.
Of course. So, out of we were trying to decide
Yeah.
how we would rate this, because there's no real like one thing that stands out in the movie, like any kind of object or anything. So we just went with demonic cheerleaders.
Yeah.
So how many demonic cheerleaders out of 10 would you give this?
I would give it, I think. I would give maybe six demonic cheerleaders.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's horror, it's not my genre.
Yeah, it's not. I
so,
know it's not your
so
thing.
it's like okay, well, six. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd give it a solid 8.
Okay.
I think the performances are really good, and I think it's entertaining and does have something to say.
Cool. Yeah.
So yeah,
Nice.
cool.
Amazingness.
So our last section, we normally, if you've listened to our podcast before, you'll know our last section. We tend to
Come up. Well, tell you.
tell you about weird movie title translations. I'm sure people have come across some in their time. We certainly have.
Yeah.
So, do you have one today?
I do. And this is I'm specializing in, like
Yes.
I guess I'm trying to I guess I'm in charge of Spanish titles. I guess.
You don't have to. It's not solely.
No,
if
no,
you
no,
want
but
to. I found some from Spain actually
Oh,
today.
cool. But so the one that I've always found weird is the Spanish title for Die Hard.
Oh, okay.
So because in Latin America, it's called Duro de Matar, which is it's very similar to Die Hard. You know, it's like it's very hard to kill. It's something like
Okay,
that. So it's
okay.
like okay, it's similar.
That makes sense.
But in Spain, the film is called Jungla de Cristal, which means crystal jungle.
What? That is weird.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because of the building, because it's made out of crystal and it's like a jungle for him because he's I don't know.
Crystal jungle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I've never like the first time that I saw the title it was like what film is that? And my mom was yeah, sometimes they call Die Hard Jungla de Cristal. I was like why? I don't know.
They had to come up with some title. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched
Yeah.
Die Hard. To be fair, I haven't seen it that many times. Because he is sort of on separate floors to them, and
Yeah.
they're trying to not
Yeah,
find,
like he has
find
to.
each other.
Yeah,
and
he has to like climb up and down the elevator roofs
shafts and
things like that. But why?
Crystal jungle.
Why would you name it Crystal Jungle?
That's really weird.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. But there you have.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Well, I also have. I'm just deciding. I have 3 to, but we can only do one.
Yeah. Well, we still have other episodes.
We do. There's plenty of time.
It's just a matter of picking which one for today.
Okay, so this also is a Spanish one. This is from Spain as well. and it's 101 Dalmatians,
Yeah.
and the title is The Night of the Cold Noses.
Yeah, La Noche de las Narices Frías. Yeah.
That's
Weird. That's always been like very,
It's
very
and
weird.
it's not a difficult title to translate.
Why?
Dalmatians.
Why?
101.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the name in Spain. In Latin America, it's the same. It's
Just
101 Dalmatians.
In
The
Spanish.
the literal translation.
Do dogs have cold noses then?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, exactly. Like when they have like a little bit like humid, like wet noses, and they tend to get cold.
Yeah.
So I guess, but that's a long stretch, isn't it?
It is a long stretch.
It's
Just
like-
the one night of cold noses.
Like,
and you have to make the link between cold noses and
dogs, exactly, and it's not any dogs. It's Dalmatians.
It's Dalmatians,
Those-
very
yes.
specifically. Yeah, and like I say, I don't know if I would link think, oh yeah, dogs have cold noses.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe Spanish people do. I don't know. If you're Spanish, and you can tell us. Let us know. Let us know if when someone says cold noses, you think straight.
You think dogs.
Yeah.
You think Dalmatians, not
exactly.
just dogs.
Exactly. Specifically Dalmatians.
Yeah. Okay, well,
That
here
was
we go again.
Yeah.
That was it.
It was very interesting, Malada.
Yeah, I'm glad we had a couple of things to discuss.
Yeah.
And I could enlighten you on the
Yeah.
ways of horror and
Feminist
feminist film critique.
Yeah, it's always nice to keep widen my horizons.
Yes. Cool. Well, you'll find out next week what we've got planned.
Yep.
And until then, hopefully stay with us.
Yeah, and
Hopefully you enjoyed this and all the previous episodes.
Exactly, and if you haven't heard them yet, the previous episodes, go and hit the play button,
please.
Because we have a lot of fun, and
we definitely do.
I'm sure you will too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So thank you so much, guys, for being with us one more week. Yeah. I'm Altair.
I'm Hazel.
And see you in the next episode of Elevator Pitch. Bye-bye.
If you like this episode, why not hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode? And if that's still not enough, you can follow us on Instagram at elevatorpitch_pod to stay up to date with all the latest news.